Bang! What's popping, people? Parlay Madness, episode number 14. We got a few of these under our belt now, you know. It was episode 2, it was episode 7, episode 8, but we got 14 under our belt now. So we're getting better at this. The show format is getting better. And this card is not the best card, in my opinion, for parlays because there's not too many props that I'm looking at and saying, all right, this has got big value, this has got big value. But the fights that I do like, I think they hold a lot of value in them. So, you know, it can go one or two ways. Sometimes I like many bets on many fights, but sometimes I really love a few amount of bets. And that's kind of what we have this week. I've kept my slate quite tight this week. Hopefully that will turn out to some good winning parlays this weekend. So, you know, without further ado, as I always do every week, I'm going to bring in my co-host here, the Jewish bettor, JB, the Lou and the Jew, whatever you want to call it. My man, MMA line mover. What's up, bro?
Yeah, bro, this card absolutely is god awful, bro. I can't even lie to you. Man, there's some suspect fights on this card. Maybe it's just because we just had UFC 300. It was a big week, a winning week for us. Both, unfortunately, even though it was a big winning week for the both of us, we didn't hit a parlay, James, which just goes to show, bro. The show in and of itself, you know, the parlays, it's a different kind of game, my man. So let's try and win again this week, I guess. And hopefully we can win a parlay, right?
Yeah, that's it, man. It was a big UFC 300, which is obviously what we did the show for. I won like close to 10 units on UFC 300. Unfortunately, we didn't hit a parlay. That's fucking annoying. You know, we had a lot that were very close. I mean, we had Max Holloway inside the distance. We parlayed with Andrade under 2.5 rounds. And I was close to putting that with Kayla Harrison under 2.5 rounds. But then we went with the Andrade, the other woman's fight. And man, she had her on ropes a couple of times, Andrade. You know, I feel like on another day, she probably knocks her out. And there was a couple of others anyway, but that's neither here or there. That's in the past. We've got a new card upon us. I don't actually mind this card. I know you're saying you're not really in love with it too much. Obviously, coming off the UFC 300, it's not that level, but I feel like some good fights here. We got Liang on the card. You know, that girl always brings it. Liang, always going to be tuning into her fights. We got the main event, OSP versus David Onama. I can't wait for that one, man. Like, I would literally watch those guys fight every single week. So can't wait for that one. And then there's a couple of other guys on the card that I'm looking forward to seeing. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. As long as I make some money, man, I really don't care. So, JB, we'll get into it as we always do. I'm going to bring my screen up here for all of the guys. And anyone in the chat, what's going on? Let us know you're here. Let us know what's happening. We got my man Mushroom. What's up, James? What's going on, JB? Aesthetic saying first time he's awake to watch live. Let's go, Lou and the Jew. Shout out to you, man. Well done for watching live. Hopefully we'll bring you some nice parlays. My man's tried to wake his ass up. And you're a little bit sleepy. You're like me, brother. But it's cool, man. After we get going, you already know the stream's going to come to life very soon.
Yes, sir.
Mike Guerreri says he waits all week for this show. I appreciate you. Bang, let's go. Tom Gordon, J&J. It Factor liked and shared. If you haven't liked the video, it takes like 2 seconds, so I appreciate if you can do that. Onama's going to use and abuse the redneck twink, says Yusuf Molinga. Apparently, put the value of my livestock on Omar. Damn, this guy's coming in like James Krause vibes, putting everything on Omar.
Yeah.
Let's do this week. Yeah, we got a lot of people. My man Adam, come fresh off the 160K parlay. We got my man Bitcoin's in the chat right now. So yeah, I guess we get straight into it, JB. I'm going to bring up the card right now so everyone can see. But yeah, here are the odds for now. And just bear with me while I get this card up and running.
Yeah, man. Weird week. I definitely have some bets. JB Special might be interesting this week. We'll see, though. We'll see, though, how the show goes. And I don't want to force it, right? It's just got to come. It's just got to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So we said that we're going to try and maybe break the fights down a little bit quicker because we already kind of off top have maybe we've already taped the fights and we know what legs we like already for the parlays. So maybe we can break down them a little bit quicker. I'll take it away.
Especially for a week like this, right?
Yeah. So we're still trying to find the best way to format the show. How many parlays should we do? Should we do joint parlays? Should we do individual parlays? Should we come up with the parlays before the fights, or should we do it live on stream? If we do it live on stream, how can we do it quicker? There's lots of stuff we're still trying to come up in terms of the formatting of the show. And this week we're basically just going to try and take a little bit less time in breaking down these fights. So I'll give it a go. You know me though, I like to go off my rants and that, so I can't promise, but I'm going to give it a go, breaking this fight down very fast, or faster than I would do. So Gabriel Benitez is a good striker. He's a good kicker. He does a lot of the right things on the feet. But in his last fight against Jim Miller, I think he looked poor. I think he looked shit. I think he looked flat-footed. He was getting wobbled a couple of times. He didn't really, a lot of his strikes wasn't doing much damage to Jim Miller. I bet on Jim Miller there. And I mean, I didn't think it would be that easy. I didn't think it'd be 2-0 up going into round 3 and then finish him in round 3. You can't really get a better performance than 2-0 up unanimously going into round 3 and then get a finish in round 3. That's like one of the best performances you can do in MMA. So I think Benitez clearly on a decline. He's lost 11 fights. That's a lot of fights to lose, man. You know, unless you're Charles Oliveira, 11 fights is a lot to lose. And anytime he goes up against someone of UFC level, he tends to not only get beat, I've got to put my screen up here, not only get beat, but also finished. So I think Machado, even though he's coming off 2 losses, I think he was very competitive in both losses up until the finish in Slava. And then with the Rafa Garcia fight, you know, that was a decent fight. He was still pushing throughout all 3 rounds. So I think that this is a get-right spot for him. I think that he hits very hard. He's got that one-punch power. And we've seen time and time again against Gabriel Benitez, man. Like, if you got that one-punch power, you're probably going to get a knockout over him. So I'm going with Machado there. And personally, I think he's going to get a knockout probably in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, bro, I'm on Machado. I like Machado inside the distance as well. Like, I think more often than not, especially for the price difference they're giving you, it's probably going to come early. It's probably going to come inside the distance if he does it. I prefer the inside the distance over the KO just in case, because it's like not even a minimal difference, right? He's got long arms. Front chokes happen. I saw Benitez tap to a face crank. So guy's willing to quit in there, right? Don't want to necessarily count out any subs, but it's not my read on the fight. My read on the fight is Machado, round 1, round 2 KO. And that's probably how I'm going to bet it.
Yeah, so we'll write that down. That's a minus 255 for Machado. So taking some massive steam recently. I remember looking at him recently and saw minus 190. So see minus 255 is actually quite a big difference, but I'm not going to be scared off by the difference in terms of who I'm thinking the value side is. I still think there's some value on Machado at this price, to be honest. I would line him, you know, around the 80% range, to be honest. So we'll write him down there. Also, Machado KO or ITD. We'll check the prices there. Again, there'll probably be steam now. That's one thing that's bad about doing this show right at the end of the week. A lot of the lines, we don't get the best lines. Machado, ITD minus 110, and then KO is going to be coming in at plus 105. So actually no difference whatsoever, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I like the ITD better personally for me, man. I know everyone's going to say, what? Machado, he's not going to submit him. But, like, bro, we just saw this guy tap to a face crank. He's a cool.
I mean, if he ends up, like, punching him and Benitez is all wobbling and he just grabs a standing guillotine, I mean, what, is Benitez not going to tap? Like, obviously it can happen. And we always try to give out not only bets on this stream, but also give out some knowledge and some info. And, you know, you've heard this a lot, but a lot of people maybe haven't. And it's that when you get a prop so closely lined, whereas the ITD's at minus 110 and the KO's at plus 105, it's not that big of a difference, right? There is still some difference in implied probability, of course. Anytime you're switching from the minus to the plus, there is a decent difference. But it's not enough in this spot to play the KO over the ITD. I think the ITD has more value. I still think the KO has value, but I think the ITD has more value here. So just be aware of that. Another thing that I want to say is, like, when you're picking a fighter to win by KO, sometimes just check the ends by KO as well. Because sometimes it can actually be quite close. And I'll do it right in front of your eyes right now. Maybe you'll not be able to see it on.
Nah, you can't check it on fight odds, bro.
Yeah, so ends by KO. What book is that available on?
It's probably like -190, bro, on DraftKings, I think.
DraftKings, yeah. So if we see, this is one book I have here.
-190 is my guess.
What is the method of it? Ends by. They might not have it in this one, you know. One will fight end. How will fight end? So the KO here, yeah, you're right. About -190, $1.55.
Yeah.
But yeah, just make sure you're checking that in the future. If you're picking one fighter to win by sub or KO, check the ends by, because you might get a decent price or something close. So next fight will move along. And Alex is saying Mike needs some serious correcting to have good audio quality. Blah blah blah. Blah, blah. Gives Mike a bad audio quality.
Is he talking about?
Are you talking about my mic or JB's mic? And once we get that information, can anybody else confirm what Alex is saying?
You sound normal to me, so he must be talking about me.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Could be.
So Alex is saying mine, James. So can anyone else in the chat let me know if my mic is sounding bad quality?
I think you're fine, brother. Let's just move on to the next fight.
We'll definitely move on, but I want to know if my mic is bad quality or not, because if so,
yeah, but wouldn't it come up on my end that I couldn't hear you fine? You sound fine.
Well, so that's 1-1. So we'll ask the chat as well. Anyone else in the chat, just let me know, and we'll move on now. Next fight is Ivana Petrovic versus Liang. Like I said, Liang's the type of girl that I'm always going to tune into her fights, because she's always going to bring excitement, whether she's winning, whether she's losing. You know, what I remember with Liang is that she was scheduled to fight on the very first fight back from COVID-19. And, you know, the entire crowd was going wild for all of those fights, because they had been starved of any type of sporting event, any type of public event for many, many years. This is like 2 years in. Or maybe it was a bit less than that, but around 2 years, you know. And then she comes out, and the UFC put her as the first fight coming back from COVID for a reason. They did that because they know she brings the heat no matter who she fights. And I bet the under 2.5 in that fight against Ariane Canelossi. And I bet it at like -140 or something, -130, something ridiculous. Whereas now you're never getting that for a Liang fight, because she's a nutter. But I'll tell you this, Liang still has some skills, man. I think she's very strong, man. She takes down everyone. She was throwing Canelossi around, throwing JJ Aldridge around. I mean, these girls are girls typically you don't throw around, right? So she was throwing them around. I think she's quite strong. I think she has a strong grip. She's obviously not jacked up and stuff, but I think she's skinny, wily, strong. She also throws some crazy strikes, man. She got a heavy rear hand. She throws a very clean head kick, but she's just so wild with everything. She rushes her striking, she rushes her grappling, and she's got very poor cardio, and she quits after about 5 to 7 minutes. So if she doesn't get the fight over within those 7 minutes, it's going to be tough. But I think the line's wide here, JB, man. -600 is a bit much for me. I think that Liang has more outs to win than a -600 line. I mean, making Petrovic the biggest favorite on the entire UFC card is just kind of nonsense to me. You know, do you want to trust Liang? I understand if you don't. I'm not going to argue with you, but I don't think you can play Petrovic at this price. So, you know, I think is probably she's a decent spot this week, you know, whether you want to risk it or not. What about you, bro?
Yeah, I think she's a kill or be killed kind of fighter. I think she kind of fights like she doesn't really want to be in there. That's kind of what I get out of her. Her grappling's good, but she just folds after a few minutes, and it's not like she's finishing these girls when she gets on top. Most of her wins come from like arm bars and stuff that she's fallen positionally off for. And pre-UFC, she really didn't fight any competition that I really liked. Gomez Juarez murdered her, but Gomez Juarez is a tough, hard hitter. A lot of these girls that she's losing up against are grinders, tough, hard hitters. I don't see Petrovic as the kind of finishers that those girls are. But I don't think it matters, because like Liang will fall off that cliff. So if she doesn't get finished herself, I think Petrovic will get a finish. I like fight doesn't go the distance. I actually kind of like Liang inside the distance as well, depending on the number, right?
Yeah. Okay, nice. So money line side, I'm going to write down Liang for me, +375, big odds there. Do you agree?
On the money line, so see, I like the inside the distance depending on the number because if she wins, I think it's inside the distance, right?
Yeah,
Is she really gonna win it? Is she really gonna win a decision, bro?
No, but I just wondered what you think of the money line side. So, but we'll just leave. We'll just leave.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's really a question for me.
You're not gonna put Petrovic in.
No.
Liang ITDs plus 550. So I'll write that down as well. Again, I don't think we'll be smashing out tons of parlays with Liang, but
sure,
we'll write it down either.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I don't think it's a huge for me the price difference. Like if I'm on be on that side, I'd rather just take the ITD for me.
Yeah, and then round 1 is plus 700, so you might as well just do ITD, man. Because at the end of the day,
it could come in round 2. You know what I mean? What's round 2 for Liang?
She took
plus 2,000.
Yeah, plus 2,000.
I mean, I think it could come in round 2.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know why it's such a. I guess because. All right.
Yeah, I don't think it'll come round 2. It probably won't come round 2 at the 10-minute mark, the 9-minute mark, but it could come round.
Can we put that down? I don't mind that. I know that's a little crazy, but
it's definitely insane to put in a parlay a plus 2,000.
Just put it down. Yeah,
we're gonna write it down either or.
Bragg, I could call it if it does hit.
Look, man. At the end of the day, this Petrovic will grapple with her. You know, like when you're fighting someone like Liang, you want someone like Gomez Juarez to fight her. Someone who's going to make sure that she defends the takedowns, have a low center of gravity, frame away, and crack her on the feet. And when someone did that, she got knocked out in 1 minute. Whereas the other two fighters, JJ Aldridge, even though she tried to do that, she couldn't. She got taken down, and it ended up going quite late into that fight. You know, there's like a minute left until round 3. And then the Carnelossi fight, she kind of grappled with her as well. And again, that ended up going a little bit later. So when you grapple with her, you give her a chance to win. And I do think Petrovic, based on her fight with Luana Carolina, will grapple with her here. And I think that, you know, she's going to give her chances to win. Whereas there is fighters that I would say, like, she ain't going to get a chance to win. I do think Liang's going to have her chance. Is she good enough to finish it? Probably not. But, hey, we're going to see how it goes, man. So I didn't do any research for this next one, mate. James Lontop versus Chris Badilla. I mean, I watched Lontop, obviously. I had a bet on Lontop against Gabe Green. He got pulled out basically on fight week, got changed with Chris Badilla. I haven't had time to look at Chris Badilla. He looks like Marvin Herbert. Shout out to Marvin Herbert if you know who that is.
Marvin Herbert. Who's that?
Google Marvin Herbert, and that's extracurricular activities for you. Some London culture there. But anyway, I didn't do any tape on Marvin Herbert, so I ain't gonna break this one down. I'll let you take it away if you've done tape. If not, we'll move on.
Yeah, I think it's a dog or pass for me. For me, I think it's just gonna be a pass. So, line top doesn't really impress me. Padilla, I think, could have some decent grappling success as well. Yeah, just pass for me, bro. I'm just gonna pass on this fight. All in all, I don't have the hard confidence to really lean any side.
All right, bro. So what you're saying is, let me tee this up. Man's on LinkedIn, you know. That's a mad place to be.
I mean, I just don't know how much faith I could put in a guy whose nickname is Taco versus a guy whose nickname is Goku.
So what you're saying is you're not betting on Marvin Herbert?
Wait, that's not Chris Padilla?
I mean, that's Marvin Herbert. I think it might be.
That's Chris Padilla, dog.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is Chris Padilla. I think he's got alter ego. All right. Well, I guess we're both moving on. I mean, was there any like props or anything that you like ITD over?
I don't want to take the risk on either of those, bro. To be quite honest with you, this is a greasy fucking card.
Okay. Next fight. Look, another fight that I don't really have too much to say about. Marnik Man, Ketlin Souza. I've been taking these away, so you go first, and maybe I'll piggyback on something you said.
Yeah, I want to. Oh man, I can't. How can I like? In my heart of hearts, tell somebody to bet on Marek, man, bro. Like, that's just fucking god-awful advice. I can't, in my heart of hearts, do that. I want to say Ketlin Souza. Like, my read on the fight's just going to be Ketlin Souza to win by, like, round 3 or decision, bro. She gets either, like, a late finish in this spot but she's coming off a bad knee surgery. Who knows what pace she'll go. I've seen her, fight low volume spots in the past, whereas, man, they'll just keep kind of pushing forward. So I don't really even want to trust the side here, bro. I'm not going to force it. Both these girls are kind of midgets. Man, who the hell is she really beating?
Yeah.
I mean, I like her losses in the UFC aren't the worst, right? Brazil, but it was a finish, a bad one too.
Yeah.
And then, watching Brazil, she's not finishing every girl, right? The way she put out Man was pretty violent, so I wouldn't count out like a Caitlin Souza KO. So I'm just gonna say Souza's the side. No bet for me, man.
Yeah, I'm not feeling this one at all either. There's path to victory for the underdog. There's clear path to victory, what I've seen on tape, but I don't think that she's good enough to succeed in them, basically. But based on I can see path to victories, I ain't really gonna be playing the favorite, but I do think she gets it done. Man probably sticks tough. But yeah, man, this is a massive pass fight for me.
Probably a wide line, but there's just
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, what? Probably a wide line, but we ain't gonna risk. We ain't putting Manic Man in a parlay. I'm saying that right now, man. So, the Meta Human Project knows what I'm talking about. I ain't putting no Manic Man in a parlay. So whether I'm saying that the line is wide or not, that girl ain't going in none of my parlays. So we'll move on. Speak about not going in any of my parlays. Yeah, I mean, do I really need to break this one down? We got Bobby Green's dad, it seems like, and I don't even know who this motherfucker is. Chris Weidman's autistic big brother, but
it looks like somebody, bro. I'm gonna figure it out.
looks like someone. No, bro, that literally looks like Bobby Green's older brother. It's mad. He's even got the gold chain on.
Dude, you're not rocking with Lord Kong this week, bro?
Mate, I know a lot of people are, bro, but mate, come on, man.
Like,
that ain't me, man. That ain't me.
Even if you win a bet on Dontel Maize this week, like, how could you even brag about that? Like, I want to bet on Dontel Maize this week. Like, damn, dog. I don't even know if that sounds cool.
Right. It ain't going to be a clean win either. Like, I can see him winning greasy split decision or like a counter knockout because Machado is a bit of an idiot. I could see him win a counter knockout, but he's probably going to lose like every minute before he gets that counter knockout. If he gets the knockout, it's one of them ones. It ain't going to look either way. He ain't going to look good either way. I don't think so. Boys, big pass fight for me. I don't mind the over. I know it's a little bit juiced. Maybe it's a little bit square. I do think that Dontel could knock him out just because he does hold a bit of power. He does have some good counter boxing. I wouldn't be surprised if, Machado ran into something. I never rated Machado. I don't think Machado is on I don't think Machado's on any type of good level, but he does seem to be tough. I don't think he's got a good chin, but I think he's tough. And I think he throws a lot of volume and he throws kicks and punches and, he's never going to stop coming. He did it in the parking fight. He did it in the Kevin Zlavarsky fight. So he's going to keep coming here. And that's enough for me to not bet on Dontel Maize. Big pass fight for me. I lean to the over. I lean to any type of plus money, which is Maize. But big pass for me, man. Line move or what? Bobby Green's dad or not?
I'm laughing, bro. This is ridiculous. But I'm going to have to go back to the nickname, bro. Like, I think Lord Kong, personally to me, sounds better than Bigfoot. Like, Bigfoot, dog, you could have came up with something better than that. You're fighting 53-year-old men. That shows to me that you really don't want to fight the toughest level of competition to get to the UFC. I know, like, there's not that many people he could have fought, but yeah, man, give me Dontel Maize. I think he's going to get it done. I think the knockout's live as well. Machado is very hittable. He has not fought anybody that hits as hard as Maize, in my opinion, as of yet. And I think if he gets caught the right way, he could just wind up going out or just wind up, getting a TKO'd by Maize. Not sure what the number is, but give me Maize. Not sure the method, to be honest with you, though.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, oh, Maize doesn't even have plus money anymore. It's even worse than it ever was.
This card stinks, bro.
I don't even want to write him down. Are you going to use him in the parlay? I'm not.
Nah.
Fuck him. What about,
Yeah, really no
what
point.
about, you like the under more than the over, right? Or you don't mind it?
Dude, I just don't even care about this fight. Why am I going to sit here and lie, bro? Why?
There's no reason, bro. I'll write the over 2.5 because I do think that it has some value on it, but
Yeah,
I'm
both these
not.
guys aren't really finishers. Like, they shouldn't really be finishing.
No, I don't think they are. I mean, obviously it can come as heavyweight, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't really...
All right, moving on. I'm glad we didn't spend too long on that one. Rightly so. It's funny because oftentimes when I don't like a fight, I spend the most time on it, or when I don't have a strong read on it, and that's because
versus Bo Nickel.
Yeah, but the thing is usually like if I don't have a strong read on it, it's because I can see multiple things happening. So obviously the breakdown's going to be longer because I need to cover multiple angles, right? So that's why it usually happens. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't spend too long on that. We can spend a little bit longer on this one, but again, man, I don't really have a strong read on it. Like, someone mentioned in the comments the other day, I think someone commented like, oh, you're saying you don't have a strong read on all these fights. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I ain't going to randomly come out and say, yeah, I've got a really strong read on this fight. Like, if I don't, right? I mean, I have many bets every single week because I think I have strong read on lines and bets and value. In terms of picking the winner, I don't have a strong read on this. But then if you give me Hubbard 400 plus 400, then I have a strong read on Hubbard at plus 400, right? I think it's a good bet. But I ain't going to come out and just lie to you and say I got a strong read when I don't. And Austin Hubbard versus Michael Figlak, I don't have a strong read, but I do think Figlak's the clear side. I think he's going to win. And the reason for that is because Austin Hubbard is someone who, first of all, he doesn't have any good wins, right? Second of all, I don't think that he is good in any particular area, apart from maybe cardio, and he pushes forward. But he's also had performances where he's looked lackluster, he's looked labored, and he can kind of let the fight get away from him, even though he's meant to be this cardio king. I think Figlak has good cardio as well, so I don't necessarily think Hubbard just like runs away with it there. Figlak's got multiple late finishes. He can come on strong if he's getting his game going. And Figlak's one of those type of people, I think he's a confidence fighter. I bet on Faraz him at plus 180 in the last fight, and I did not see him being dominated like that, but it leads me to believe that he's some form of confidence fighter. I think that fight would have been a lot closer if maybe Figlak won the first round or got a couple of takedowns initially or something like that. A lot of fighters are confidence-based fighters, and you wouldn't know it based on them fighting. But if you can see the intricacies of the game, a lot of fighters literally, their whole performance is based on how confident they are, based on how the first round went or whatever it is. So I think Figlak was going to have a better performance this time than he did last time. It was a bad performance, but it was his UFC debut in enemy territory, and he couldn't get any type of game going. His wrestling did get exposed last time because, he faced Perez Ziam, who's an out-and-out striker, and he was just grappling him as much as he wanted to, which isn't a good look. But Hubbard is a bad grappler as well. I think Figlak's going to be the one shooting for takedowns in this fight. I think he's going to be the one getting takedowns in this fight. And based on the grappling upside and the striking is very close, like even Figlak could even win that. I'm going to pick Figlak, and I'm going to pick him via decision. But really, if Hubbard's checked out based on that last loss and been in the UFC twice now, Ultimate Fighter, like he might just not really be that motivated anymore, and he could be finished again. But I'm going with Michael Figlak. What about you?
The decision, man, that's an interesting one. I haven't really heard that one mentioned, but I do like it as well. I'm on the Figlak side. I like the Mad Dog. We see my guy coming in with the fight goes the distance. I think he's a crisper striker. I don't think Hubbard's going to be able to take him down like Ziam did. I think Figlak has room to improve as well. So he could come back and make those improvements that Ziam was taking him down with. I don't think Austin Hubbard's good as some of those trips that Ziam was doing. Some of those were some intricate trips that I don't see Hubbard, who's more of a single leg cage wrestling guy, doesn't really get the fight down that often, even in some of his fights. He's a decent wrestler, but Not the best MMA wrestler, not the best controlled based fighter in my opinion as well. Even saw in that last fight he got triangled, if I'm not mistaken, which is like kind of a low level submission. If you're getting triangled, I'm not really gonna be trusting you. Yeah, give me Figlak here. I just like him straight.
Nice, yeah. So GTD took some action again. It was like minus 170 or something at one point. Now it's took some action. Figlak decision plus 130. I don't mind it. I think Hubbard's very tough. But like I said, man, he could just be mentally checked out. He got triangled in his last fight, which isn't a great look, as we say. But anyway, we need some plus money on the board, and I do think it's potential plus EV leg. So I'm going to write it down either way. I'm also going to write the over 2.5 rounds down. No, it wasn't minus 200.
Is it Figlak or is it Figlak?
I don't know how to say it. It could be
Figlak, brother, because he's a fig fucking lock this week. No, I'm just playing. So we gotta change his name. If he kills it this weekend, like we think, it's gonna be Michael Figlak.
Yeah, it was a bad decision, man. Like, I mean, bad performance last time. I was actually surprised by that performance, even though I bet his opponent. I didn't think it would be. It's mainly the wrestling. I didn't think he'd get dominated in the wrestling like that, but it is what it is. Ziam looks strong randomly. Yaya versus Victor Henry, man. I'm going to let you take this one away because I have somewhat of a take on this one, somewhat of a strongish read.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Yaya is going to have his best success early in round one with the takedowns. Victor Henry's got to be careful not giving up his back here. I think he understands that, but he likes to give his back to get back to the feet. Decent to good takedown defense in the UFC. You can say he's not been controlled that long. The Sun Sal one was probably the worst performance of his UFC run so far by far. He's had tough matchups. These guys like Javid Bashrat, Tony Gravely, Ani Barcelos. I think Ronnie Yaya is a lot older. I think he's got a good ground game, but to me, that's about it. He's got a good ground game. So, give me Henry. I like him late. I like him in round 2. KO, round 3. I think the KO or the sub could come because I think by that time, Yaya's probably going to be out volumed by then. Could be a big significant strike disadvantage. And then it's just how does Henry, finish him. I think it probably is KO, but yeah, round 2 KO, round 3. I like Victor Henry here. I don't think it goes to the scorecards personally for me.
Yeah, so I kind of agree, man. I think there's 2 ways to play this in terms of value. I think Yaya is the money line side. I think he has value on his money line. There's actually quite a bit of money that's come in on him over the last few days. He was up he was up at like plus 400 at one point, I believe.
More than that, I think. I'm not mistaken. Like plus 450 even.
Yeah, and now he's plus 290, right? So massive change there. At plus 450, I was like, I might have to take the shot. Kind of annoying. I don't want to play Yaya in this spot. I bet on the under 2.5 rounds because I thought Montel was going to knock him out in round 1. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And so I don't, that's what I think. I like him. I bet him against Kung Ho Kang. I bet him via decision there as well. He was Pick'em on the money line, plus 400 on the decision. I bet against him with the Montel fight, the prop. So I feel like a decent read on him. But I just don't want to play him. And now we've moved down to plus 290. I'm like, all right, there's a bit of less pressure on me now because I'm not going to lie, I was close to playing plus 450, but at plus 290, I'm like, all right, maybe I just skip it. And then the other form of value I see on this fight is Henry in round 2 and round 3, man. I think if Yaya's not getting his game, if there's no value on Yaya money line, then there has to be value on Henry late props, in my opinion. Now, can Henry finish him in round 1? Yeah. Ronnie Yaya didn't like it when he got hit last time in round 1. Ronnie Yaya is one of those fighters where if he's getting kicked to the body for 3-4 minutes, he might just quit, man. I could definitely see it. But I think that, those are the 2 ways I would target it. Henry 2-3, Yaya money line. Basically the same read as what you're saying. We both agree with the Henry 2-3. So we'll have a look at 2-3, 2-3 KO, etc. I think we're going to stick with 2-3, but if you like anyone over the other, then let me know that.
I like round 2 KO, round 3 just straight, personally. I don't think he's going to submit him in round 2. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but like Yaya would have to like gas like crazy bad. But yeah, I think just thinking 2-3 might be the play. Don't want to like
50, 700 for 2-3 KO, or 450, 575 for 2-3.
Yeah, I don't trust the. I mean, he could just submit him, bro. If they're grappling but you know what happened? How does he actually submit him, right? Like Yaya ever even been submitted before? In all honesty, like I just saw him get KO'd.
Yeah, but the difference is not that big, right?
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, I agree.
So the difference is not that big for a reason. Like Honey Yaya money line. I mean, I'll write it down just for the sake of the view.
Who the fuck has Hani Yaya beaten all these years of the UFC? It was his best win, bro. Like fucking.
Don't know, man. Kang was a decent win at his age.
Yeah, that was a fucking frustrating one though. I had Kang there, and he barely won that fight. Like he won clearly, but it was just
needed a back take for sure. Yeah,
it was just weird.
I mean, Barzola fight was good, and then obviously just fell apart. But yeah, you're right. He doesn't have great wins at all. But he ain't been fighting that good competition, really.
It's fucking old, bro.
In the UFC for a long ass time, and he ain't really fought super high level guys.
Weird, bro.
WEC did. Old school, man. WEC guy.
Yeah,
so yeah,
looks and shit. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, he's gonna need like the perfect game to win this fight. Not impossible,
I like it,
but that's what he's gonna need. Uros Medic versus Tim Means. I think he might have a take on this one. I'm not sure. My take is that Tim Means is gonna get fucked up. My take is that Tim Means is 40 years of age, but I wouldn't lay Uros Medic at the price just because. You might as well just play him inside the distance. He's got no wins via decision. All of his wins have come inside the distance. Might as well just say it's going to happen again, especially to someone like Tim Means, who gets finished a lot. You know, and most of Tim Means' losses, he's getting submitted, right? He's getting finished a lot. And so I definitely think that the finish comes inside the distance here. So if anything, I just play Uros inside the distance. Uros KO. You know, I do think there's some value on a submission at 10-1, whereas there's probably not that much value at minus money on the KO. But it's all based on means, right? Like I ain't betting on Uro's submission because I think he's going to take him down, grapple him, and he's a great submission artist at all. The only reason you would even think of betting it is because means when he gets hurt, a lot of times he ends up getting choked as well. And when you're really relying on one fighter, it's kind of annoying. But it's not impossible to happen. I'm not predicting a submission, but I do think there is some slight value on the submission. I can't lie. I did look at it. I looked at it to potentially bet myself. I ended up passing overall. I think Medic is just, I think he hits too hard. I think he hits too fast. I think that no matter who's fighting him, for the most part, they've took some big shots. And I don't think Tim Means is going to be able to take these shots. If Tim Means can take it, he can take over this fight. He can get the clinch game going. He can get a couple of takedowns. He can elbow Medic. Like, he can win this fight. It's not impossible. I just have a hard time seeing him come through the first and second round. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Medic via early stoppage.
Yeah, round 1, round 2. Like, what are we getting for that, man? I don't mind it.
You don't think that he could just blast him out in round 1?
Yeah, what's round 1? Isn't there a prop like round 1/round 2?
Oh, yeah. I thought you said 2-3. All right.
My fault. I said round 1, 2. For Medic.
So we can't get it on fight odds, I don't think. Can we see it on
like,
fight
odds? I think the sub is live, bro. Every time Means, like, Daniel Rodriguez ain't no submission dude, right?
Yeah, he's like
he's like a 10th planet guy, but he ain't no submission dude, right? So every time this guy gets hurt, he's just like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is him, bro. Here's my neck. Just have it, brother. So yeah. I don't know, dude. I think Medic's just live for a submission here. I think Tim Means gets on top. He's live for a submission as well. We've seen Medic get subbed. I think the fight ends by sub here for me is also a personal bet, depending on the number. I think anything 6-1 or better, if you're like looking really good.
Medic 1-2 is like it's quite bad. Medic 1-2 is like even money, like minus 110.
Does he win a decision? Does he win a round 3? Like,
no, round 3 is possible. I mean, just got a round 3 finish. Means could start getting tired. I do think 1-2 is decent though.
I don't mind it.
We'll write it down just to have it down, regardless of what we choose.
Yeah. I don't think I'll use it. What's the fight ends by sub, bro? Because like I said,
ends by sub is going to come in. We'll have a look here. Method of victory. How will fight end? Ends by sub is plus 625.
yeah, dude, I think for a fight that's logically most likely going to end inside the distance, we've seen this guy meme sub. Both these guys literally lose. When they lose, it's just a submission every time. I know you say, like, and I see there being some form of grappling in this fight. And then again, if Medic is just fucking him up on the feet, like I think could happen, takes his paycheck and heads home like he does every time.
Definitely possible, bro. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Wasn't it? It was Kevin Holland. Yeah, he's like, what should I win by? Guys, he put a poll on X. It's like KO or sub versus Tim Means. And I think it got voted submission. Yeah, and he's just like, all right, well, I'm going to get a submission.
Yeah. Quite a few here. Basically, just all Medic inside the distance props, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think Tim theoretically could submit him too, but it's not impossible. I mean, Jalen Turner took him down easily, and Turner's not even a wrestler. We just saw Turner get mopped by.
He did.
Yep.
All right, main event of the evening. And shout out to everyone here. We've got 370 live viewers, which is way less than we're used to. Usually up in the thousands, but
yeah, I think the late time slot could have something to do with it. The shit card could have a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, makes
sense. Yeah.
But still, 370 man watching us live right now with only 2 hours to know we was going live. So shout out to everyone here. You are the real MVPs, and we're going to try and bless you with some parlays for being here, right? So we're probably going to do that with something from this fight. I mean, me personally, I do like a side in this fight, JSP versus David Onama. But I'll let you take this one away, bro. I've been speaking first quite a lot.
Yeah, I like Onama here. I think he's going to be able to land more damaging shots. Does he get taken down here? Yeah, it's very possible, but I think he gets up, possibly gets controlled. JSP could even have big rounds here, even dominating rounds early. I think every round starts standing. And that's going to be a big problem for JSP because as this fight starts to get in round 2, as the fight starts to get in round 3, I think the damage is just going to start to accumulate. I think Onama is going to land the more powerful shots. I think that alone is a good enough reason for me to take him at underdog odds here. But he has been working on the wrestling, improving on the wrestling. JSP is probably going to take him down, but he took Brito down. Brito was a guy he should have a clear wrestling advantage up against. And even though he was able to take him down, Brito gets back to the feet. He shoots, puts his neck in there. So I'm not counting out a submission either. See some people taking the KO. But when you're getting almost submitted by a 135-pounder guy on short notice, and Christian Rodriguez, who I know has a good front choke series, but that choke was deep. And then on top of that, obviously, the do something about it. What did he say in his last one?
Yeah, do something. Do something. Get up and do something.
And, yeah, he did something about it, sure enough. Puts in that ninja choke and gets him clean. Onama's got some subs on the record as well, so I don't want to count it out. Elgin's fight probably should have got the finish there, but not the best level of comp. Amir Khani, yeah, Omar Morales, I'm not even going to keep going because it never gets any better. So give me David Onama here. He's had a tough schedule as of so far, I think. And I think this could be a matchup where he gets the job done as an underdog. I don't want to call a method on this one, like I said. I think JSP's liable to get sub again.
Yeah, I bet on JSP in his last fight against Brito, and I was super frustrated when he got choked, man. I thought that was a very winnable fight for him, and he just let it off the hook. Obviously, the ninja choke, man. Like, once you're caught in that, it's kind of game over. Can't really do much about it. So I know it came in meme fashion, but like I do give him a little bit of a pass for it. Like you can get locked up there. It only takes a second to lock it up. Once it's locked up, like I said, you're kind of done. So, you know, it didn't look great, but it is what it is. Still a very tough guy, still a very good fighter. But I think that Onama is going to land his boxing here. I don't really see a world in which he isn't landing big shots. I mean, no matter how I picture this fight, JB, I just see Onama landing shots in like every iteration of the fight. You know, it doesn't mean he's going to knock him out, but it means that he might knock him out. Also means that he might damage him enough to where the fight completely changes on its head. Also mean that he might damage him enough to where he wins the rounds, even if the fight doesn't change on his head. So I think that just my prediction in him landing boxing in this fight basically means that he's already valued. Just in my prediction. Obviously, it might not come out like that. And then on top of that, he's calm when he gets taken down. I think that his win over Gabriel Santos is a legit win. I think Santos is a very, very good fighter. Santos is underrated. I'll tell you that now, man. I know Santos is 0-2 in the UFC, but boy, this guy's a legit fighter, man. He really is. He got robbed against Lerone Murphy. You know, that was a win. So he's 1-1 in the UFC. And the David Onama fight, he was kind of fucking up David Onama, basically. He was basically beating him up until he lost. And that was a good win for David Onama because it told me that he can stay tough in dangerous situations on the mat and on the feet, right? And we know that in the Nate Landwehr fight, the guy was done. And he just continued to push forward. In that third round, he was landing huge bombs, man. I think he learned a lot from that fight. And then in the Santos fight, it showed. He stayed calm, got his knockout. Brutal knockout. Gabriel Santos had his back. He was able to reverse that. Santos is a good jiu-jitsu player, man. He's legit. He's a Brazilian, good Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Better than JSP. I don't see JSP taking backs and like dominating like that, in my opinion. Obviously, he's done it before. I don't think he's got better jiu-jitsu than Gabriel Santos, to be honest, bro. You know, he's just a absolute nutter who's going to shoot a million takedowns. He ain't really super slick jiu-jitsu guy, not from what I know. So, man, if Jonathan Pearce takes him down, I kind of feel like David Onama is going to be able to get back to his feet. And I saw Christian Rodriguez, who's known as kind of a pillow-fisted fighter, where he wobbled JSP a little bit in that fight, only for a second. You know, JSP was instantly straight back on the takedowns. But let me tell you something now, man. Onama hits a lot harder than that 135-pounder who just moved up to featherweight, who's a natural featherweight and also hits super hard anyway. So, man, I just think there's chances for Onama to win this fight. Would I be surprised if JSP just ends up like gassing him, like Eblin Kasanganai fight? No, but I do think it's going to be an Eblin Kasanganai type fight if JSP wins. I think JSP is going to have to come through hell to win. You know, the Mason Jones, he basically has to repeat the Mason Jones performance. And guess what happened in that fight? Mason Jones was anybody else on the planet, he would have been knocked out unconscious. Mason Jones just happened to have a crazy blockhead, crazy Welsh motherfucker, and he's 155 pounds, right? Massive guy. So JSP ain't that, bro. JSP, I don't think he's got the same chin as Mason Jones at all, actually, and he's not as big. So if you take the Onama performance from the Jones fight, even though he got controlled for like most of the fight, if you take that same performance, he probably knocks out Jonathan Pearce, bro. So, yeah, man. And that was his UFC debut, short notice. Upper weight class. Anyway, man, I like Onama in this fight. I think that he's got some good chances to win. I think he's the clear striker, clear striking advantage. You know, that's what really, I can say a lot of stuff, but that's really what it comes down to, JB. Clear striking advantage. And I think there'll be chances for him to get the win. So, big money's been coming in on him. Only plus 128 now. We ain't seeing a plus We're not seeing a plus 150s like we was once upon a time, but I think it's close to a pick 'em.
Love the breakdown, my man. Love it.
Thank you, brother. I gave that one a little bit more time, but
it's well deserved, man. It's probably the best fight on the card, in my opinion. Could be, if not, definitely one of the best. So, definitely deserves it. And yeah,
I don't really know about the ends ITD or anything. I'm not super confident on that. Obviously,
I kind of like it to end ITD, but I don't know if I'm gonna lay minus 200 on that, bro. I mean, both these guys are pretty tough, bro.
TKO decision again. I'd lean TKO, but Onama to get his first decision ever, I wouldn't rule it out. You know.
All right, so what's the fight to go to decision? It's minus 200, right? Or no, it's not. It's plus 140.
Plus 160.
Yeah. So then Onama decision's plus 700. I mean, you just depend.
I kind of like Onama decision better than. Actually, I don't know.
No, just defending that he doesn't finish him though, and Onama's a dangerous motherfucker. The way he finished Gabriel Santos, bro, and then just coming off that last loss where JSP just got finished like choked easy.
Yeah, I think we just.
Oh, man, I mean, plus 700 is tempting. I can't lie.
Should we call it Onama and just call it a day?
I mean, are we gonna parlay it?
I mean, I've written Onama down, but I don't.
No, I meant decision. Like, are we actually gonna parlay?
Onama decision.
Yeah.
I'm not. You can put it down.
Then, yeah, I'm good then.
Plus 700 in the parlay. Like, our parlay should be about plus 700. We don't need a 700 in the parlay.
Yeah, I mean the JB special, but I'm not going to use that in there. So
JB special. I think what we've been doing a little bit lately, which is fine in terms of actually making money, but
yeah,
maybe making the parlays a little bit too risky, like 20-1 parlays and shit like that, which we do regularly. And we spoke about this off air, and now we're speaking about it on air. We're going to try and reduce the risk a little bit. Maybe not make so many 30-1s, 20-1s, because we're still saying that they're going to cash at a better rate than the odds, right? That's why we're literally betting them. But people like to win more often than less. Like, it's funny because if I could say to somebody right now, you're going to win 100 units this year, but you're going to lose for 6 months in a row, right? Or you can take the other pill, which means you're going to win 50 units, but you're going to win every month. You're going to win like 5 units a month. Most people would say, fuck that, I won 100 units.
Yeah.
I'm guaranteeing you right now, 99.999% of them, complete bullshit. They actually wouldn't prefer the 100 units. They would prefer to win less money, but there's no upswings or downswings, right? It's just consistent over time because it's the mental aspect of the game that's very, very hard to deal with losses. So I think it's going to be smarter for us to maybe reduce the risk a little bit. We're going to probably earn less money long term because at the end of the day, even if our reads are super on point, then on a week that our reads are really on point, we're going to be winning parlays that are 4-1. Whereas if we had the exact same reads, but our parlays were 12-1, we would also hit them. So on the weeks that we do hit parlays, we ain't going to hit as big ones. But on the weeks where we maybe won't hit parlays, we might still hit 1 or 2 because we reduce the risk heavily. So that's what we're going to try to do, for the time being, for the future, maybe go a little bit less risky on this show specifically. And we'll see how it plays out. Maybe we go back to the nutty ones after. But
I mean, momentum's a thing too. So let's just see how it goes.
All right, next fight.
Oh,
John
this one.
Versus Austin Lane. So, bro, I'll go quick here, man. I think Austin Lane's going to get knocked out in the first round yet again. It happens to him all the time. Why won't it happen again? I think Diniz is quite hittable. I think you can catch him, but he stays very smart in there when he gets hit. He keeps his eyes open. He keeps his hands showed up, very kickboxing style. I think that he's going to be able to land his own shots. And I don't really trust Austin Lane, man. I mean, obviously, Diniz is going to get exposed at some point. The guy's got barely any MMA experience. He's a pure kickboxer almost, but Lane ain't the type of guy that's going to expose him. Maybe Lane can take him down. Maybe he can dominate him on the ground. I don't know, but I ain't banking on it to happen. I think Diniz KO round 1 is even money. I think that it's probably better than a 50%.
It's even money?
Even money.
Sure?
By round. Yeah, I'm sure it's -110. Yeah.
Could you check that real quick on fight odds?
Why has it moved?
Just maybe I'm having bad memory.
What did you think it was?
Like -200.
Oh wow, maybe overnight.
Yeah,
that would be -200, but maybe like 150.
By TKO is
round 1 -165,
and that went up. So before it was -1. Okay. Yeah, -150. So not even, but on some books you probably get that.
No, it's changed. It's moved overnight quite heavily. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think he can knock him out in round 2 as well. I'm not going to count it out because Lane could cage push here. He could just stifle the offense for the first round. This guy has third round knockouts in kickboxing. And who's to say his cardio is bad? Like, we just don't necessarily know what it looks like past round one. Lane's got a god-awful chin and doesn't have, like, the best card. He's got decent cardio. He's gotten late finishes like the one versus Juan Adams in round 4 where he was getting dominated on the ground himself anyways, right? He's just like a football player, so he's going to, like, football tackle this guy. I don't know if he's going to get it, but I would be scared if it does get there somewhat. But I think then he probably doesn't necessarily submit Diniz. Diniz training in Brazil. I'm sure he has some decent jiu-jitsu coaches. You know, he's not going to just get submitted. And Lane's not like some black belt himself. So, yeah, I'm not going to count on a round 2 KO. I think the round 1, round 2 knockout is something like minus 210, but they're saying the round 2 knockout's like, what, plus 700? I don't think it's impossible, but then again, I'm not trying to play crystal ball here. I'm not trying to play predictor. My read is Diniz knockout. But I do think it could come in the second round as well.
Yeah, definitely could. You know, at the end of the day, man, Lane's got a poor chin. Like, I don't think it's based on what round he's in.
Yeah, bad chin's bad chin, bro, and especially a heavyweight. Like, the dude's got a fucking god-awful chin. I don't think he's ever been knocked out outside of round 1. Even that Vernon Lewis, like, loss where he just gets flattened on the ground. That was just embarrassing, bro.
There's probably a reason why they're putting him against Austin Lane, right? Not to say that it always works out for the UFC, but we know what they're trying to do here, and we see it on tape as well. So,
bro, for real.
In terms of, like, I don't know how much value minus 150 is now.
I mean, it's minus 1,000 not to go the distance, bro.
If anything, bro, honestly, obviously at that point you just play the GTD and you just hope that he cage pushes as he
I know.
and gets out.
And they both get super tired.
Yeah, like I wouldn't put it in a parlay, but I would definitely.
Yeah.
I'd rather play the GTD because minus 1,000. Like, I don't mind playing up to 500-600s, but when he gets to like over 900, it's over 90%. You just might as well just play it outside.
It's crazy, brother.
I'll write down KO1 at minus 150, and I'll decide how I feel about that in a bit.
What's KO2? I know that's a little crazy, but
it'll be quite big, I assume. Round 2 is 550. KO2 is 600.
Plus 600 for a guy who's minus 250 to win by KO anyway. I don't know. The number just kind of seems off to me.
Yeah, it is because, like you said, if it somehow gets into round 2, I think he's just as live there as it is round 1. The only difference is round 1 comes first.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to do it in round 1. But
he survives, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it could. Oh, bro, it could definitely. Bro, if he survives round 1, that bet's probably going to cash. Or maybe. Anyway, I don't think we need to say any more about that fight.
I agree.
My man Narco, shout out to Narco. He's saying, JB, quit smoking that shit, bro. He's going to come and arrest you if you showing stuff on camera. So you better be careful, JB.
Bring it, dog.
Oh, he's retired now, but don't worry, bro. Narco, strap up them boots one more time.
No, dog. He's got friends, bro.
All right, Kareem Silva versus Ariane Lipsky.
I got Jewish friends.
Yeah, this is a good fight, bro. I think this fight is actually one of the fights I'm looking forward to most on the card, which is quite funny. I don't usually say that about a women's MMA fight. The skill level is a lot lower than the men's, but I'm saying it now. Shout out to Mala Lipsky. You know, I remember Ariane Lipsky's sister apparently used to always tune in for the live streams. I don't know where you're at, but shout out to you if you're still here. Your sister's been on some crazy run lately, man. Shout out to her last time because she was actually in here for the stream of Lipsky's last fight, which was against Casey O'Neill. And she was saying, hey, don't underestimate her. Like, she's been training real hard. She's going to win this weekend. And I did bet on her that week, and she fucked up Casey O'Neill badly. I also had a sprinkle on, imagine this, JB, and I know you've done tape, so you can remember my heartbreak. Ariane Lipsky by KO plus 1,000. And I was watching that Casey O'Neill fight. I was like, no, don't do this to me. And then obviously she gets a submission off a knockdown, which happens quite often. I think she's a good fighter, man. She's obviously improved recently. I think her takedown defense has improved. I think that's undeniable. I think that, the way she sees the fight is kind of improved. I think that's undeniable in terms of she's a little bit more patient. She steps back a little bit more. She won't willingly put herself into as much of the fire as maybe she once would. But Karine Silva is also improving. It's funny because both girls seem to be heavily improving. So it's like, it's hard to judge them because they seem to be getting better every fight. But I don't know how better they've got from last fight. We won't know that until they get in the octagon this time. I think Karine Silva is more of a finisher, of course. Basically all of her fights have won inside the distance. I bet on Moroz against her last time out. It was a 50-50 round, and then she got finished with 1 second left on the clock. Shout out to Marina Moroz there. Absolutely cucked out with 1 second to go. All you needed to do was hold on, but it is what it is. People are going to say, oh, no, it wasn't you in the choke. We'll leave that for another day, JB. But at the end of the day, man, you ain't getting tapped out 1 second left on the clock. It's not good practice. It's not good mindset. I don't give a shit what happens. You go unconscious. Not a big deal. You're going to wake up. Anyway, and by the way, I don't think she was that close to going unconscious. Maybe let me rewatch that sub again. But
quick tap.
She was a quick tap, man. And there was 1 second left. So, that's neither here or there. Magomed Ankalaev did it once upon a time. Sometimes you just panic when you're in there. But I didn't think she looked great in the fight. I mean, it was like a close fight, and then she got a knockdown in the sub. Well done. But that's her game at the end of the day, man. I think that Lipsky makes one mistake here. She's probably going to get submitted. I think Silva's a very, very good finisher. She doesn't have much else outside of that. Her cardio is always going to come into question. I understand that. She didn't look good when she went to decision against that chick quite a while back. She did look a little bit tired. Since then, when the fight's gone a little bit late, but she's finishing these girls in round 1. So it's like, are we going to have to see her gas tank here? I'm on the Silva side overall, but I can understand a play on Lipsky. I can understand a play on any plus money here, basically. But I am on the Silva side because I think that she doesn't need much to finish Lipsky, whereas I think Lipsky probably needs quite a few shots in a row to finish Silva. Like, a Lipsky finish is going to come from some lower percentage strikes on the feet or Silva gassing out badly, something like that. Whereas I think if Silva just gets one moment, I think she can just wrap up a sub instantly. And I've seen Lipsky show bad fight IQ multiple times in her career. And so I think that's going to be the difference here. I'm going with Silva to get another inside the distance win and emerge as the real prospect of the flyweight division. What about you, bro?
I feel like I've seen Karine Silva have some bad fight IQ moments, man. Falling back for submissions, bad cardio. So all those things you said, I do think early on her finishing potential is through the roof, and that's your worry being on the Lipsky side. But I'm going to be on the opposite here, man. I like Lipsky. I think she throws in combos better, whereas Karine Silva's a little bit more predictable, one strike at a time. Yeah, she's got some knockdowns in the UFC, but I think the level of comp for me wasn't the best. The Kui Yan fight, I think Kui Yan's pretty legit though. Like, people are probably a little bit underestimating that girl, but she's strong. Was taking down Silva, really bullying her, and Silva kind of winds up getting the submission. But I don't think her jiu-jitsu is as good as people are making it out to be. Personally, for me, that's just my opinion on it. I think positionally, she could be a little bit of a bonehead, and if she doesn't get that submission right, I think the later this fight goes, Lipsky's going to start to really put it on her. I don't know really what Silva's cardio is going to look like in round 3. So I actually got an interesting play on this one. I think Lipsky could get a round 3 finish this time because her cardio is good. I've actually seen her turn it up a few times the later the fight goes. Maybe necessarily hasn't gotten those late finishes. Who's to say she doesn't beat Silva and finish her? She just got a finish in her last fight. She's gotten a few finishes. She is the queen of violence, so I think that would be a funny way for people. I see a lot of people on the under 2.5 here, right? They get bopped by a late Lipsky finish. I see a lot of people on the Lipsky decision. They get devastated as well. But actually, just my read on the fight, because I think if the later this fight goes, I think Silva might be dead to rights here. I don't think she has good cardio. And I think a lot of the bad cardio has to do with the explosive movements that she does. Her technique just is poor in certain aspects as well, especially in the wrestling. So if she's using that wrestling and she's not using the correct techniques, It could be very exhausting, especially if she's not able to get the takedowns, and then Lipsky starts to put the volume on her. So I like the Lipsky side from a money line standpoint, and straight up, I like round 3 personally for me. Am I crazy?
No, man. Like I said, like I think plus money is the side here. So with Lipsky busting out to plus 140, probably the side. I wouldn't personally play it, but like I said, I completely understand playing Lipsky here. Karine Silva might just gas out bad after round 1. Like we really don't know. You know, she might look very bad in round 2 and round 3, especially with Lipsky, who's going to pour on volume. So it could actually look very, very bad. But who knows, right?
Crazy for round 3.
I think round 3 is a completely like logical play, you know, based on the Silva cardio narrative.
What's the odds, man? What's the odds on that? Because I like NZTD. Nah, I don't mind that.
I like NZTD better than under 2.5, basically just because of what you said.
What I just said, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, you never know, man.
What's we getting for that 3? I know it's a little wild, but it just took action. It took action, brother. Because I know that was not that 3 hours ago. It was plus 825. So
yeah, 1400 on Bovada and but then what half price on? It's just ridiculous, you know. 1200 on Betway.
I mean, obviously people tail these plays and yada yada yada. They get it on a different, but just write it down because obviously BetOnline's a sharper book. If they got it shaded, man, they see what's up just like I see what's up. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I kind of agree, Leon. What I agree on is that Silva can definitely get a KO here. We've seen Lipsky knocked out multiple times. We've seen Lipsky ground and pounded a few times.
Fair.
And Silva hits very hard, and she should have some strength advantage and some positional advantage on the ground early. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see that as well. I would just say, if you are betting Silva, maybe don't focus on the submission only, because I do think Lipsky has shown, some chin issues and propensity to be finished with strikes before. So just be careful. Yeah. Shout out to my man, Uncle Wheezy. What's good, James and JB? Looking forward to these fights tomorrow. Yeah, man. Always looking forward. We're back again. Haven't spoke to Uncle in a while. Hope you're doing well over there, bro.
Go.
So, yeah, that's it. I guess nothing too much more to speak about in regards to that fight. We'll run through these last 2, JB, and get onto the parlays. Ryan Spann, Guskov, man, ridiculous fight. Like I said in my stream last few days ago, this is a trilogy fight. Ryan Spann's already fought this dude twice before. He's lost both fights, so now he's trying to come back and avenge those losses to fight Anthony Smith here. Obviously, I'm bullshitting, but he's basically fighting the guy who looks exactly like Anthony Smith, but doesn't fight like Anthony Smith. Guskov have massive round 1 finishing equity. On the feet, I think he can catch Ryan Spann on his chin. Ryan Spann's been hurt quite a lot, very regularly in his career. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets hurt again. Why not? Guskov is like a master of landing his boxing early. He did it against Volkan Ozdemir, but couldn't get the knockout. Volkan ate them beautifully. He did it against Zach Palga, got the knockout. Why isn't he going to do it on his 3rd fight? Is he going to do it again? He's already done it twice. Why can't he do it again? If he lands the boxing combinations in this fight, I think it can be night-night. Do I really have a strong read on who's going to win? No. I think Ryan Spann should be the favorite. He's got a great guillotine. I think he's got very strong power on the feet. I think he can finish on the feet. I think he can finish on the ground. I think he can last to a decision better than Guskov. Yes, I think he should be the favorite, but I'm going to pick Guskov to win the fight, man. I think that this is such a meme fight. It just makes sense that Guskov's going to land a knockout here. But yeah, someone's getting finished early. I think under 1.5 rounds should be about -400. We spoke about this earlier in the last week, actually, JB. I said the under 1.5 should be about 75-80%. So that's it, man. I'll pick Guskov, but yeah, no confidence or even care in the actual money line winner.
Yeah, I like what you said there about the under 1.5 because I tend to agree. 7.5 minutes is a long time. Just like we discussed a little bit earlier this week, I like me some Guskov round 1, man. We had a parlay man this show where we were this close to putting it in, and it would have cashed us our parlay. Instead, we wound up putting in something, I think it was like Flowers KO or something, rather than taking Guskov round 1 KO. I think we got to redeem ourselves, figure out a good leg to put it in this time, and make sure we get it in there. I like Guskov. I like Guskov round one, sitting at like plus 240 the last I checked. I don't want to get risky with the KO because I've seen Ryan Spann give up the neck before, and he's another one of those quick tappers, right? Putting the triangle choke, it's like immediately he's tapping, right? And Guskov actually has a triangle choke on his record. So don't be shocked if this guy puts him in a triangle, right? Like, that's just one of those things, again, as well, right? If you're getting triangle choked in the UFC, I'm not going to bet on you, brother. That's a low percentage submission, and the way he taps so quickly, man. Who's his best win as well? It's a wash Dominic Reyes. He barely beat Sam Alvey. This dude's a fucking bum. I would not say that to his face. He'd fucking absolutely murder me. But when it comes to the standards of, like, the fucking UFC and who he's fighting, and the pricing actually as well, because I might bet him in a different spot. Like you said, great guillotine, great power, but mental midget. I think Guskov's going to get him. I think he's going to get him early.
Bro, I've bet on Spann a couple of times. I bet on Spann to win in round one via submission against Ion Cutelaba, which cashed. I also bet on Spann to win via decision against Anthony Smith at plus 1,800 or something, plus 1,600, obviously. That was a split decision loss. I've bet on Spann's fights a lot of times.
You bet on Guskov too, twice.
Yeah, I bet on Guskov, in his Volkan Ozdemir fight, and then again in his Zach Pauga fight, round 1 KO. And I like the round 1 here. Round 1 KO is not a big enough difference, so we won't play that. Like we were saying earlier in the podcast, plus 275 for round 1 KO, plus 240 for round 1. We're taking plus 240 every time. So it's very important to line shop and not just bet on what you think is going to happen. Because I think that the KO round 1 is going to happen, but I'd rather play round 1 overall because of the price.
People don't understand that, but yeah, the more we say it, maybe it'll start to stick because, it's just a fight's a fight. And we're talking about a choke. It's not that hard. Especially in these fights, man. Anything. Dude, these fights, look at all these fights, bro. I'm expecting some sloppy bullshit to happen tomorrow. Something that nobody expects, right? It has to happen.
Yeah, man. All right, main event of the evening, Matheus Nicolau versus Alex Perez. I ain't going to speak too tough on this one. I think Alex Perez has got decent optic upside on the feet because I think that he's going to be pushing forward, landing leg kicks that will probably slow Nicolau. He's got a very good calf kicker. I think Nicolau won't like that in a 5-round fight. I also think that Perez has a decent enough chin, so he should be able to win via durability. On the feet, it's close, though. Nicolau's probably a cleaner striker, probably a bit smarter, probably hits harder, but his chin ain't good. It might just take one crack from Alex Perez for Nicolau to wobble and maybe lose a round that way or get knocked out. And then on top of that, I don't think Nicolau's going to be able to fall back on his wrestling like he's done in multiple fights in his career, like the Manel Cape fight or the Tim Elliott fight or basically any fight he's ever won. For the most part, he's leaning on the wrestling. He ain't going to be able to do that here. I don't think he's going to be able to take down, dominate Perez on the ground too much. Perez showed me a lot in that Makayev fight. Something else that I like in the Perez corner is that, he's coming off that performance with Makayev, and 2 months later, he's getting back in the octagon, whereas he didn't get back in the octagon for years and years previously. Over like 5 years, he's had like 3 fights. But now he's having 2 fights in 2 months. So I think that he wants to be in there. I think that's a good mental sign for Alex Perez. Alex Perez made weight here again, twice in a row, with no complications, which has always been an issue with him. So it's just another thing that shows me Perez is still here. JB, I don't think Perez is like the bet of the century. We ain't talking Peyton Talbot against Cameron Simon here. We're not talking about a 10-unit max bet. But what we are talking about is value on an underdog, right? And I'll always take shots on underdogs in certain spots. And this is one of them, man. Main event, 2 higher level fighters. Variance can increase a little bit when we're getting the upper echelon of the division, and then when we're getting the lower echelon of the division. These two spots, we see a lot of variance. Strickland beat Adesanya, and then the lower level, we see a lot of variance too. Where the variance kind of tapers off is usually that mid-range, because these fighters, they usually perform similar every time. When you're getting 2 fighters at the top-ish of the division, any fighter can win on any day, right? It's for the most part. It's not like someone's always going to blow the other fighter away. So that's why I often take shots in main events and fights that are maybe closely lined or maybe someone's like a slight underdog, but they're at close to the higher upper echelon of the division. And that's what we've got here with Alex Perez. I don't know his true level. I don't know Perez where he's at really. Who's he really beat? I don't know. Not really anyone. Formiga, but he was washed. Like, there is questions out on the Perez side. I understand that, but I can only say what my breakdown is, and that's my breakdown, JB. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, look, to me, these guys are fairly equal. One guy just doesn't have a great chin. So how is one guy this big of an underdog? I don't understand it. I don't really have much of a big read on this fight. Perez for me or pass.
Okay. Well, exactly the same as me. So
yeah, basically, right? Like, I just don't see how you get to a Nicolau at that price. And I kind of lean the fight doesn't go the distance as well. I think Nicolau is live for a sub. I think Perez is live for a knockout. Yeah, I'm going to go grab a drink. I'm going to let you decide on that. I don't have the strongest read on this fight, my brother. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm going to write the NZTD just for JB based on what he said there, because I can't ask him exactly if he likes that prop right there. But me personally, I wouldn't be laying minus 150. It's funny because the under 4.5 rounds, I'm pretty sure it was plus money at some point, like slight plus money. And I was thinking, oh, that might be a decent play there. But, I have no interest at minus 135. It could definitely go 5. I don't think it will, but it could do. So, yeah, just a pass for me there. I just like Perez. Don't really like him. So that's it, bro. We've done the entire breakdown. So we got through that in 1 hour 16. Not too bad, JB. I think it's going to be around that time most of the time we do it. I'm happy with 1 hour 16. This show.
Bueno, brother.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll get better as we go. But yeah, this show will be under. How many fights did we do? We did a decent amount of fights, JB.
Dude, if we do this right now, this could be an under 1.5 hour show. That's beautiful. Perfect.
13 fights. Like, that's a good amount of fights to get through. So, boys, now we've broken down the whole card. This is where the fun stuff. So get your pen, get your paper, get whatever you need to do. Take a breath, go a piss, come back. We're going to do the parlays now. JB, that's where we need like a little intro, like a parlay section. Now, something like that.
We got to play some Smokey, some Too Smoky by Korn. That shit is fire, cuz.
Yeah, man.
Y'all don't know about that. Could I go first? You go first. So let me try one. I'm feeling it. Let me cook.
Please.
Let me cook.
Let him cook.
We said we like the under 1.5 in the Guskov.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like it. Like, we're gonna have to put that somewhere.
Yeah.
Take a breath. Let me think. We didn't put it up there, but I did like the Liang fight doesn't go the distance. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, okay. Let me get the odds, bro.
It'd be a little chalky, but like, come on, does that fight really? Like, definitely. I feel like.
Oh, it's not that bad,
Yeah, -3. What? 25.
Do you trust I just got a weird feeling that Petrovic is gonna cuck out.
Yeah, but should JJ Aldrich be finishing people? Should I guess Carnelosi's pretty good finisher, but like every time Liang loses, she just folds, bro.
Except for that one time against Lily Shakarova. But no, I do feel you. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't play it at this price, innit? But like, it's your parlay. But yeah.
Ooh, okay. Now you're making me feel weird about it.
It's just massive. It's just because it's massive. It's just because it's minus 325. Like,
we didn't put it there we didn't put it up there for a reason. So
that fight really should finish, bro. I don't want to persuade you of anything, but you asked my thoughts, and those are my thoughts.
Okay, no, I like that, and that's why we're here. That's why we're working together. But I do like Onama, and we both liked him as well. But we're probably going to be putting him in different parlays. So, Mahashate inside the distance.
Yes, sir.
I don't mind that. I think he knocks out Gabriel Benitez's old ass. What does that get me? Like, what does that get me? Straight up.
Minus 110. Yeah, and like we said, we might be risking a little bit less these days, just for the time being.
All right. Well, it gotta be over 2-1. It can't be plus 160. Sure. It just can't. All right. What is the Liang fight not to go the distance get me?
325. Or do you under? You have to go. You have to go ITD.
Yeah, dude. It's so much, dude. That's so. Now it comes to like, what does it give us for the value? Plus 240 and that much. Can we go back to the legs real quick? real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. The inside the distance. We both like the Diniz. Are you not feeling it minus 360?
I really don't rate Lane, man. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't.
Let's go Diniz. Let's go Diniz.
Okay.
And did we put Liang ITD as well? I mean, I'm going to put that in there as well. It's got to be.
As well, yeah?
Yeah. I don't think, can't give out a plus 240, bro. I'm sorry. I know. You can, but I can't.
Funny, bro.
Plus 325. That ain't that bad for me. That makes me feel a little better in my heart.
Yeah, okay.
And all these should happen theoretically, so we're just kind of Machado ITD.
We'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. We might say, you know what, JB, like if our reads are good, we're gonna hit massive anyway, so we might as well just fucking go back to the 17.
Right, I do.
We'll
agree
just
with that.
We literally don't really know where we're gonna go at the moment. All right, I'll make a parlay now. So I think, see the issue now. I'll tell you what this is. The issue with like playing parlays, maybe not that are a little bit less risky, so a little bit safer parlays. And that's evident by the plus 325, where you're used to seeing a plus 1,000, right? So playing these type of parlays, though, JB, we're going to be using up legs that we like quite a bit, legs that we're quite confident in, legs that should happen, meaning that we may have to double up more than we usually do, which is a little bit annoying, but that, it's pros and cons of everything, right? Because the thing is, if like 10 to 1s, well, we're putting like a plus 500 in a parlay, right? And then like an even shot. But if we ain't putting plus 500 in parlays for the most part, which means that we have less legs to choose from on the shorter price legs. So we might have to double up a little bit. But anyway,
that's a fact.
Just thought it's worth mentioning because I kind of play some stuff here.
If you're feeling something like where you're feeling a parlay, man, let me know, and I could always switch mine up as well. I'm not opposed.
I'm just gonna play something that I like now. I know I'm doubling up, kind of, but I just like it. I'm gonna go with Mahashati KO. I'm gonna stick with the plus money there as the ITD at minus 110. Like I said, I think value in both. I prefer the ITD, but that's if I was playing it. At this price, I prefer the ITD, but that's if I had to choose. I don't have to choose. I can play both. I think value on both. I'm gonna go with the KO on this one. I'm gonna stick with that plus money. It's gonna boost up our parlay quite a lot. What else do I like with this one? Figlak decision a little bit too risky at this point in time. I might have to do the KO parlay, man. Diniz KO 1. Machado KO as plus 105. Plus 105. And then Diniz KO 1's coming in at minus 150. So at the moment, we're sitting at a plus 242. What else can I add to this one? We didn't really add any like big parlay legs, like minus. There's not that many parlay legs.
I mean, I kind of used them all, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Guskov one, that's kind of nice. The Guskov fight doesn't start round 2. Am I getting better odds for that? Okay. Is it going to show on here? Oh, it does show on here. Fight doesn't start round 2. Let me have a look at that because I'll probably get better odds, even though it's basically the same bet as what
you're doing. Sure, it shows up on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't start round 2, minus 185. That's kind of nice,
Don't mind it.
So, again, we're doubled up quite heavily, which isn't always great, but...
Yeah.
I don't really care. We're either going to win or we're going to lose one of them ones.
Yeah, it's every week, right? That's the point. It's like we might as well just, but then it comes down to like if you're putting these big plus money things in, it's like, do they really have a shot to hit? So we got to vet those.
They have a shot, but it's like, people are going to be pissed off because they're going to lose a lot.
Just depending on the week, yeah.
Even if they win long term, it's still.
I mean, here's my theory on it, man. If any other two people do this show, and that's no offense to anybody else, they're probably down 80 units at this point.
Bro, any show anyway. Like the thing is, we're the only show that tracks our bets, right? Like I
There you
don't know any other show that actually gives out bets and tracks them. So if you don't track them, you can say what the fuck you want, and you can just like, yeah, we won, but we actually track, so we have full data on it. So I don't really care what other shows do. I'm not calling anyone out. I don't give a shit. I'm just saying what we do based on what other shows do. They don't track their bets. That's a fact of the matter. And us tracking our bets, I don't actually know what we're at. We're at like 30. I think we're at like plus 30%. I know it was like 80%. Then it went down like every week for like 4 weeks, right? But
Yeah.
I think overall we're still at like plus 30% or something like that, which is kind of crazy. Being March hasn't even ended, and it's the first time we've ever done this show. But I like that parlay, JB. Plus 426.
Okay.
It's basically like a just win parlay there. I think all of those guys are gonna just win. So
there you go. Just pick winners, right? Speaking of winners,
every channel that I know tracks their bets. No. You're not listening.
Go
What
ahead,
I'm saying.
yeah.
So everybody tracks their own bets, right? No other show is giving you bets and tracking. They're telling you what they bet themselves, and obviously they're going to track it themselves. Everyone has their own individual records, right? That's what Bet MMA is for. Everyone in the industry has a Bet MMA. Nobody is making bets like this live with you and then tracking each singular bet. People are telling you what they like. Oh, I like that one. I like that one. Or people are telling you what they personally bet, but it's completely different dynamic of the show. This show is literally listing out bets for you to bet. And we're doing it live. And we're tracking every single bet. So there's not one channel that I know of, and I'm in the industry, I know them all basically, in the entire industry that does what we do. Yeah. So it's not big. I don't give a shit what they do. It's not a big deal. I'm just spitting facts. None of them do what we do. So
that's fair. Can you scroll down a little bit so I can actually see what we're working with here? There we go. Hell yeah. I like Onama, straight up. I mean, I don't know, we're probably gonna have to use him again once, but I do like him.
Yeah, nice.
My boy Onama. I do like. Don't want to go Liang inside the distance. I feel like it's way too greasy. We didn't like Lipsky, right? Because you like Silva. But do you think if it gets to round 3, she could finish her?
I don't think Silva's will finish in round 3 at all.
I mean, Lipsky.
Oh,
there's just too risky.
I mean, I would save it for like some type of special. I wouldn't put it in a random parlay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. If I wind up doing that. What about Medic 1-2?
Yeah, it's nice. You should go through him. You want that one?
I do want that one. And then I'm gonna add Figlak as well at minus 180. And then that's gonna be my second parlay, brother. I think that's gonna be that.
Plus 128.
A little bit less plus money this week, but hopefully the JB special.
In JB's soul that we ain't doing 10 to 1s and stuff.
I know, bro.
577 ain't.
Oh, that's great. I didn't think it was gonna be that much. Okay.
Yeah, adds up quick when you got 1+ money leg in. That shit adds up, man.
Yeah, facts, big facts. You know, if you put a plus 550 in there. Oh, you gotta love it, man.
Yeah, Donnie, exactly. You say they have their bets behind their membership. Exactly. But we don't. This is completely free, so that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yep.
Horner's saying
I don't interact with.
Look at the irony of that. Horner's saying I don't interact with the chat anymore. Brother, I'm right here, bro. Or maybe he's saying his last comment, brother, these are all gonna fail. Come on, bro. You want me to interact with that?
Get out, brother.
Comment, bro. That's the interaction you get on that comment. That's a backhand to that comment, man. Come out of here, bro. All right.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
All right, are you ready? Yeah, this is parlay. This is my parlay. I'm about to take this one away. Like I said, there ain't too much I like out of here that I don't want to like without me doubling up.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to play this Guskov round 1. I know I know JB. I was just about to say I know JB wants to use it. What are you?
Use it.
Can you?
It's a plus 240. We gotta use it somehow. Just gotta make sure we nail it, right? We just gotta nail it this time.
I was gonna put it in with Perez, but that's a plus money. It's kind of annoying.
Ooh, okay, I like it.
That'll be quite. This two-legger and just leave it there. Just kick out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to build up a little bit too. Like, I like how we're building up. We started like plus 300,
Yeah.
went to plus 400, then we went to plus 577. Now it's like, bro, 240, 150.
And JB, do you think we should do? And like, look, this is literally how you know this is like a show and a format being built right in front of your eyes. And anyone in the chat, please let me know if you have any idea as well. You know, we're always chatting to the chat, but even though Horner said I'm not, but you know, JB, what do you reckon about? And I think we spoke about this kind of a little bit, but not really. But what do we think about? We have ranges. So like, if the parlay is in a plus 200 to plus 400 range, we bang 2 units on it, 1 unit on it. If the parlay is 400 to 600, we bang half a unit. Or if the parlay is like 700 and above, we bang quarter of a unit. If it's up, you know, like something like that, you know, some tiered system to show how much we put, or we can just keep the flat staking at one unit.
It's something me and you just got to discuss over time. I think as of right now, I'm fine with the way we're doing it, but it's not a bad idea, bro. It really isn't, because we're not going to have the same confidence level on the JB special as Parlay 1, right? So
yeah, so should we really flat stake it? But then if the JB hits, then like,
we want that. Yeah, we want that profit.
We want that flat stake, you know. So it's tough. It's tough. Maybe, maybe what we do is, I don't know. We'll think about it anyway. That's something we can
definitely more to talk about for sure. What is this one adding up to? Plus 240, plus 150. That's got to be plus 600 at least, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice.
No, it's got to be plus 700 at least. Come on.
750 clean.
All right. You like that?
I like it. Yeah, bro, I like it. I'm just gonna leave it there.
We're building our way up. So what's this parlay 5? Bro, I think this week, brother.
Yeah.
I think this week, brother, I think we should do 2 specials. I think I should do a special, and you should do a special. Is that a little crazy? But like, we haven't done that yet, and I think it's viable, bro.
Yeah.
But like,
that makes sense.
Here's the thing, brother. That's true. I do agree with that, Leon. Here's the thing, brother. We said we didn't want to double down. But I might have to double down, brother. I might have to double down.
Bro, do your thing, bro. But is this not special yet?
Is it? Oh, yeah, it's a joint. Are we doing 2 specials or are we doing 1? Or are we just doing the JB special? Parlay 5 is what again? Oh, it's the joint parlay where we work together, right?
Yeah.
Like, how the heck did we do that this week, man? Jeez.
Yeah, because we're kind of doubling up already.
Did we like the medic? We didn't do medic 1, 2, did we? Or we did?
We did that one.
Fuck.
This is rough. Yeah. It's kind of rough.
This is rough, bro. I feel like
we're just gonna have to do something again. Like, we can't. We ain't used Maize over 2.5. Do you like it?
I mean, I don't think these guys are the greatest of finishers, but do think Maize could KO him.
So do I, but we ain't used it. One of the only ones we ain't used. Because, like, what else we gonna use? We ain't putting Liang. I mean, we can, but like,
dude, disgusting, brother. I mean, plus 550.
Like Henry.
I'm probably gonna use Henry 2-3 in the JB special just to be.
Do the JB special then.
Yeah, you want me to just cook it up now? Am I too crazy for Lipsky round 3?
Say that again.
Am I too crazy for Lipsky round 3?
Why don't you do?
But like, I feel it incoming, brother. I just. And like, I wanted to use do Guskov round 1 mixed with Henry 2-3. Like, that was going to be my original plan, right?
Well, I can still do it. Why not?
Because then we got under, dude. All right, let's look back at the parlays, real.
We got everything is under.
Everything is under one, not one around two.
True,
Dude, if this somehow goes to decision, we are fucking dead, brother.
we probably shouldn't do any more in that one then.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, now I gotta choose, brother. Now I gotta figure it out, and it's like coming down to maybe this is the way we do it, bro. Oh, dude, can we? Because I want to do Guskov round 1 and Henry 2-3. I feel like that's a really solid, like, parlay, right? So
Yeah,
is there a way? Is there a way we could change parlay 4? And then it's like we take that out and watch Henry not win in round.
I want that parlay, man.
Yeah,
it was my parlay. It was my parlay.
So then, you know what? I'm just gonna do it the way I was gonna do it. Guskov's gonna win in round 1.
Whatever.
We go with Guskov round 1 plus 240.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We've lost like 6 weeks in a row anyway, so let's just pray Guskov wins in round 1. Henry round 2-3. What are we getting on that?
Well, I don't know because we didn't write it down, but let me check.
I don't know. Do they have that actually? Like, is that a thing?
Not on BetOnline, but on a lot of books. They'll have it on this book. So
okay, cool. Woo! Probably be better than 3 decision, I would hope. Come on, give me something. There it is. No?
Plus 310.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
All right.
Big shot. What's that song? Ice Cream Paint Job? Yeah. That's what we're playing after we hit this one.
1294, yeah.
We smoking that Span pack. We smoking that Yaya pack. And yeah, that's my parlay right there. 12-1. It's a little bit weak this week, but we're just looking for a dub. Just looking for a dub.
We try and say new. We try and say. Also, this card is a bit fucked, bro. Like
that's hitting. That's hitting, brother. That's hitting.
I think so. We're trying to squeeze the juice out of this card. It's not
13-1 almost, bro. That's
my man Juan is saying we need to throw Marnik in a parlay, brother.
We absolutely do not.
We do not. Donnie, tracking bets have nothing to do with being free. Donnie, I've explained this. If you don't understand it, then there's no helping you, bro. I've already explained it. Very, very easy to understand. Lady Violence parlay by Gus. So juiced that Liang one, man. And then the Marnik one, we didn't even have a read on that.
And then Lipsky, I think he was talking about minus 190.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is so gross, bro. This week is so gross.
Very hard for like legs and stuff, bro.
I do like the Lipsky round 3.
A bunch of shit.
I can't lie. I do like the Lipsky round 3.
Yeah.
But like, if Guskov loses too, bro, I'm thinking about it. We're absolutely screwed.
What about
Dude, I'm just gonna do Lipsky round 3. I know I'm switching it up. I know I'm being a bitch, but
Lipsky round 3? Why don't you do Lipsky 2-3?
Okay, what's that?
It's just better because well, get an extra round, right, obviously.
I mean, what's the difference? Just tell me the price difference. Because at that point, I might do 3 decision. Like we're nitpicking, right?
Right. Okay. 3 decision. Yeah. True. I'll tell you, bro. So we got 2-3 is plus 625. So definitely over the round 3. And then 3 points is plus 290.
I like the 2-3 better, honestly, bro. I think
Leon's coming in saying like he already likes it.
Oh man. Okay, let's leave it then, bro. Let's leave it. Plus 1294. I was just thinking, like, bro, if Guskov loses, bro. That's all we got to remember this week. But let's leave it. You're right.
Well, hopefully he loses in under one.
Right. Yes, if he does. Right.
If he loses, we can just chalk up another loss for the week. It is what it is.
Bang.
We still got parlays, man. We got parlay 3, which is nothing to do with the span fight. We got parlay 5, which we'll leave it out.
Want to make the money line special real quick? Let's do that.
Yeah. Okay. Is that parlay 7? That is, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
No, Guskov is only in 2 parlays.
No, he isn't. Yeah, it's the under that we're.
Yeah, just the under. Yeah, I'm just gonna check that.
Yeah, we're good.
Just two. He ain't going in The money line, put it that way.
It's like if Span wins a decision, we're fucking enraged, or like wins late. But I just don't see it.
Nah.
All
right, money line parlay. We're just gonna have to double up on all. Bro, do we actually? Because I remember one time, we probably should. Remember one time you said like, do we have to do a money line parlay? But money line's good just because it takes a lot of all the variance out. Basically, someone has to win, right? So
right. What about Mahashate? You like that?
Yeah, he's already in like 2 others though. But
really?
Yeah, we'll see we'll see it anyway. Medic?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Onama, Diniz, Lipsky. It's tough, man. What are we gonna do?
Onama for sure. Diniz, we could try.
We should just fucking write down all of our
disgusting, bro.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna write them all down and we just delete what ones we don't like.
Yeah, I think we might just have to.
We don't have a lot, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We might just have to go with what we got this week, bro.
Nah, Liang ain't
disgusting.
Honey, Yaya. We can't put Yaya.
Oh my lord, this is so.
Bro, that's all we got. That's all we got.
Perez. We used Perez.
Oh yeah, true. Perez as well.
God, this is disgusting.
It's just so annoying that we've already used these.
I don't think we used Lipsky.
No, we haven't. But like, we used Perez, we used Figlak, we used Diniz, we used Onama, and we used Machado in 2 different parlays. The only one we didn't use is Lipsky, but actually we bet her 2-3. No, actually,
we didn't.
So the only one we haven't used is Lipsky, and I'm picking Silva. But that's fine. We can use Lipsky, but it's like there's like an asterisk next to every motherfucking one here.
This is such a gross week, bro. It makes me want to throw up.
Who else did we not put in? So, like,
Medic, but he's minus 300. Like what?
Yeah. Medic's 300.
I guess you could say the same about the knees, though, right?
I'm just gonna write them down. I'm not. Because I just want to actually see it. But don't tell Maize or much.
I think the money line might be Lipsky, Maize.
Man, no, we passed on that. Lonta, we passed on that. Yeah, we passed on these 3 here. Like,
what's it? Wait, what's Lipsky, Onama, and Figlak? Like, what's Lipsky, Onama, Figlak?
One. How many Onamas we got? Just 1.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Lipsky, Onama, Figlak. That could be it right there, bro.
Do you want to use Figlak twice?
Why not?
Yeah, I don't mind too much.
I mean, we're gonna have to use somebody twice, brother. 3 times is when you start to get a little, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially on a week like this, bro. This is disgusting.
Minus 180, plus 128, and then you said Lipsky plus 139. Coming in at 748. Should we just leave it at that?
For this week, I think we don't really got a choice, bro.
We'll leave Medic. Yeah, we've already got him. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Mahashade, we've already got him twice. Fuck that.
Yep.
Perez, we only got Perez once, but
yeah, I would be down to live in. Honestly, I'd prefer to live in Perez over Diniz.
Yeah, I would as well. It's the price, better, more value.
Yeah.
What's
Perez get us?
If we add Perez, which is kind of tough now, but it's getting to plus 2019.
I like that year. That was a good year for me, bro.
Yeah, that was a solid year.
Yeah, I love that year. That was like a throwback, bro. Let's do it. That was a good year, bro.
I listened to that analysis, boys. It doesn't get any sharper than that. I like that year. Leave it in.
Y'all can't tell me 2019 wasn't a great year, man. It was the year.
Not as good as the year 3005.
Facts, Brody. Facts. Like, but you know what? We might not ever get that number again. So, like, you know what I mean?
We might. Should we just leave it fucking in, man?
You don't think Perez is good value?
Yeah, I do. We just put him in that one, but that's okay.
Yeah. I like the way we're building up too, bro.
Yeah, we need a fucking massive one, so we should just leave that in as a massive 20-1.
Dude, we didn't even get the money line special. The money line parlay is bigger than the JB special this week. Make it make sense, brother.
Make sense. It almost wasn't with the Lipsky, but we calmed on that, bro. We still got parlay 5, which is the joint parlay.
Let's try and make it like in between that. I know that's like aiming for odds, but
What about Medic under 2.5? Should we put that in? We haven't used it yet.
We haven't.
What else are we gonna do, bro? Don't tell Maize over, bro. We just need to use these.
I think I like Maize better than the over 2.5. Like, if we gets the over.
I don't know, man. Don't you think Machado can out volume him in the decision, bro?
Oh, Machado's just so bad. All right. Over 2.5.
Donnie's still having a go at me, bro, about the same thing. Donnie, bro, like
I gotta read the chats.
We've moved
God,
on,
dude. Dude, we literally had this discussion like 2 weeks ago. Can we please just like move on? This is so bad, bro. 2019.
He doesn't understand what I'm saying. He doesn't understand, but I'm not gonna read.
I know. It's like going back and forth.
Leon saying, bro, 2019 was great. That's a good point. Don't fuck with the matrix analysis. Yeah, it's true.
Bang.
Considering the stars from the upset, Manic Man honestly might not be a bad play.
Ah, it's so disgusting. Like I can't sit here and tip to you, Marnik Man or Dontel Mays. I cannot do it. I can't do it in my heart of hearts.
Dontel Mays, bro. Just hit the over and just hope that boring like he always is. He's quite tough still, kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, I love that ends by sub in the means medic fight. I don't know why I didn't use it either, but whatever. Gonna have to leave shit on the board, and KO is totally live, so.
Yeah.
But, man, they always get finished by sub. It's like a regular occurrence for them. Yeah, I don't really have much to add here, so I'm going to leave this to you, dog. I know it's a tough one. It's a tough task.
Bro, it's tough. Leave it to you, bro. Leave it to you. Yeah, it's all right.
Dude, do we go disgusting and just put Na Liang in? Like, one of these women's underdogs has to win, bro, right?
Yeah, should we just put Na Liang in?
Na Liang ITD, though, plus 550?
Then she grinds out a decision.
Oh, my God. That would be so disgusting, brother. I mean, if she went, yeah, we're kind of asking for extra anyway, so why not just take the plus 375? What's plus 375 get us?
Probably a lot. We really put in Na Liang in this parlay. What is it?
Do we really have a choice? It's like, dude, do we do?
He always pushes me to put these massive legs in, and I'm always like, nah, it's too risky.
I know, and then it's like it's Kennedy and Juku that fucking loses.
Don't remind me.
And then somehow that freaking Ayman Zahabi beat Javid Basharat, even though he called that too. I mean, I don't want to tell you to play Na Liang, so.
I don't know what else we're gonna do.
If
I don't play Na Liang,
what about Henry? Nah. We're not going to double down on that.
Did that 2-3 though, isn't it?
Yeah, we already did that.
We've done all of that. Henry done all
What are
of
we
that.
confident in? Are we confident in the Henry 2-3? It's like a good number anyway.
Not really. I think Yaya's the money line side. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not confident in it. You've done it already.
I know.
It's a bit risky to do again. It could be
I know, bro. And we used Onama twice. What about Lipsky on ends in ITD? Minus 190.
Yeah, I don't mind that,
Bang.
So I remove Na Liang for that.
Please do. Please. You should have never let me get this far.
Plus 273.
Oh, it's so gross. We might have to switch that. We might have to switch that to Parlay 1 and then just call it a night. Ends ITD main event.
No, I don't like that.
Under 2.5 medic means we used already. Right.
Yeah, tough one, boys. This one. Guskov, we've done that too many times.
This is such a shit week, bro.
Well, Mahashate under.
We used it like 6 times, bro.
But I mean the under only because we used him.
Is Gabriel Benitez finishing him, bro? Like straight up. I guess he could, but
I mean,
for all that, like I'd rather just use fucking Na Liang ITD. Like for all of that, like
Should we just leave it as like 2-4-2-7-3?
If that's the case, then we have to make it parlay 1 and call it a night, brother.
What do you mean?
Like because then that's in chronological. Like the odds would have to be in order. Like it just, I'm superstitious.
Oh shit! They've gone exactly in order. That's weird, eh?
Yeah. You know, plus 243. You put that as parlay 1.
All right, fuck it.
And we call it a night, bro. I mean, plus 243. Like we did say, we wanted to make some easy parlays, right?
Yeah, true. It's so weird because this one I don't even really like.
This week was far from easy, bro. You don't even like that one, right?
Not really, and it's like plus 243. I don't mind
so
it.
Gross. It's like at that point, why not just use Liang, ITD, right?
I feel like using Liang, you know. Don't gas me up though.
Dude, I honestly think it's not a bad idea.
Don't make me. I just changed it all. Should I really? Liang's kind of fucked to put in though, you know.
Dude, she's got to win one fight in the UFC. You really think she's gonna get cut? Like that's it. Bye bye. Adios.
Go with Petrovic 2-3. Nah, Liang. Uncle Weezy's spoken. I don't know, man. I think Liang like holds some value here, to be honest. I reckon we just leave it as it is, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yang is trash. I mean, do I listen to everybody? If I listen to everybody every week, then I wouldn't be original, right? So it's up to you.
I think we're done.
I think that's it, brother.
All right. We'll have one little recap. We'll cut this off before 2 hours. So parlay 1, 3-leg parlay for plus 243. I know the OG members who've been cashing with us massively since it started. The parlay madness is super pissed off right now. They've never seen a plus 243. JB's
I need to hide my face.
Embarrassed to even show his face when we're giving a plus 243, even though a lot of shows are giving you minus 300s. But it is what it is. JB, we're trying to be a little bit calm when we don't want to force anything. It does progressively get better. The parlay 2 is a 4-leg parlay now, but that comes in at plus 325, so it's not bad. Parlay 3, it's getting better, plus 426.
Yes, sir.
Parlay 4, now we're into like the decent range of parlay madness at a plus 577. And this is where it starts getting a little bit crazy. We've got parlay 5. The 2-legger only is the one I made at plus 750. The JB special coming in at a cool plus 1294. We're doubling up on the Guskov round 1, which is what it is. And then the Moneyline special, for some reason, is the biggest this week. That's because we've got a bunch of dogs and we don't have much other people to use. So plus 2019. I kind of like that one. And that's it, boys. That's Parlay Madness done. That's all the parlays. And, man, hopefully we break this cold streak on the parlays we've been on. Like I said, last week was good in terms of UFC 300. We both have a good event. But
I know.
These parlays specifically, we didn't hit. We just hit our main bets. But I think this week's going to be a bounce back. It would make sense that the week that we don't really like, the week that we doubled up on, the week that we've got parlays that are not very high in odds is the exact same week that we cash a lot of parlays. It would kind of make sense because we're showing the discipline, you know?
Yeah, it could be, man. And it's literally the name of the game. Like, literally last week, we both had a massive, like, I mean, I had a good week. You had a good week. We had great reads, amazing reads.
Yeah.
That didn't pan out. So that's part of the game. Man, 2019, Kobe was alive. COVID hadn't hit. I think it was the year of, Pop Smoke was about to come out. I don't know. Probably a bunch of other stuff coming.
Yes, sir.
Parlay 7's going to cash for you guys this week. That's all I got to say.
All right. Done, boys. So thanks, everyone, for being here. As always, man, shout out to every motherfucker in the chat. And that's it, man. Good luck to everyone this weekend. Hopefully, we're going to make some cash. Next weekend, another UFC event. This shit doesn't stop. We're going to continue. Like I said, there's only been 30% of the year left. 30% of the year gone. We've got 70% of the year left to go, boys. So we're only just warming up. So good luck on all your bets tomorrow, boys. Peace out.
Let's get it.